In the year 2000, a young couple purchased the old Miller place, which is a Victorian-era farmhouse that once sat on many acres of land here on the outskirts of my hometown. Not long after moving in, their oldest son, who was at the time 6, came to his parents in the middle of the night, claiming that a man was in his room. He said the man was trying to speak to him, and he could see his lips moving, but could hear no words. He also said the man was wearing a hat and had a red neck. Now, his parents, thinking this was just the overactive imagination of a 6-year-old child in a strange house, dismissed it as such and thought no more about it until 8 years later. Renovation projects had recently begun on the house to accommodate their quickly growing family. That's when the mysterious activity began to take place. Televisions would mysteriously turn on and off by themselves. Objects left on the table would often be found elsewhere in the house the next morning. And then one night, their daughter, who was now 4 years old, came to them and said, "There's a man in my room. He has a yucky neck. He's trying to speak to me, but he can't talk." Now, remembering the story their son had told, which seemed to be almost the same verbatim, along with the other unexplained occurrences that had been taking place since the renovations had begun, caused them to wonder, could our beautiful home actually be haunted, and if so, by whom? They invited an amateur group of ghost hunters in to try to collect some form of data to support this theory, or perhaps give them a rational explanation for the things they had been experiencing. Unfortunately, they were unable to do so. That's when I was contacted, and hoping I could give spirit a voice to the use of my electronic mediumship, because if you'll recall, the spirit, according to the children, was trying to speak but could not. During my first visit there, I conducted a radio sweep session, and there were quite a few people present during this first visit. And here's the only concrete word or response from the entity that I believe is haunting their home. "You want us to stay or go?" "Go."
Go.
"You want us to stay or go?" "Go."
Go.
I found this case to be rather odd, as usually the spirits I contact will have plenty to say once they figure out that, yes, we do have a means of hearing them. I was invited back for a return visit a week later, when only the immediate family members were present. Again, I tried to contact the entity. He didn't have a whole lot to say, but here is another, what I believe to be concrete piece of information that he did choose to divulge to me on that evening. Stay in this house, yes or no? Stay in this house, yes or no? No, answering that. Now, what I heard in that response was, of course, it's my farm, when I asked, do you stay in this house? I've run into situations before where the spirit doesn't seem to realize that he has passed, and I wondered if this was the case with this one. So the next thing I asked, are you dead or alive? And at least he had a sense of humor. Are you dead or alive? Are you dead or alive? Now, this is an ongoing investigation, and the family has stayed in close contact with me regarding further activity in their home. But what did we learn from this visit? Well, let's review. Number one, he doesn't seem to want them there. Number two, he does stay in the house because, after all, it is his farm, at least as far as he is concerned. Number three, he does have a sense of humor and seems to realize that he has passed. Stay tuned for further updates.